Our very popular Fox and Friends Lives. We got people from around the country with us.
Ainsley Earhardt's career has often shone as brightly as her personality. Known for her warmth, professionalism, and faith-driven optimism, she became one of the most beloved faces on Fox News' Fox and Friends. But behind that familiar smile lies a story of heartbreak, perseverance, and redemption. From growing up in the South to navigating the intense world of broadcast journalism, Ainsley's journey has been marked by triumphs and trials. From personal loss and failed marriages to controversies that tested her career and faith. Her story reveals the resilience of a woman who has turned every challenge into a lesson in strength and grace. Finding her voice in journalism. After high school, Ainsley took her first determined step toward journalism at the University of South Carolina. There, surrounded by the energy of college life, she learned the technical side of broadcasting, editing, reporting, anchoring, but also the human side of storytelling. She discovered how one person's voice could make a difference. After graduation, she joined WLTX, a local CBS station in Columbia, where she covered everything from local politics to heartwarming community stories. Her sincerity stood out in an industry often driven by ratings and deadlines. Viewers felt her warmth through the screen, sensing that she cared about the people behind every story. When Columbia Metropolitan Magazine named her Personality of the Year, it wasn't just recognition, it was proof that her authenticity resonated. Each broadcast refined her presence and confidence, preparing her for the national stage that awaited. Her success at WLTX was a small-town triumph with big city potential. A leap of faith to national television. Ainsley's career took a bold turn when she moved to San Antonio, Texas, for a role at KENS-TV. It was a leap of faith, away from home, familiar faces, and comfort. Hosting morning newscasts, she developed a sharper, more confident voice. Yet, it was in New York City, at Fox News, where her life changed forever. The city's skyline mirrored her own ambition, vast, full of light, and full of challenge. Transitioning from regional stories to national politics was no small feat. But Ainsley's adaptability won hearts fast. Mentored by Fox's leadership, she learned to balance hard news with humanity. Her Southern grace set her apart in a network known for intensity. Every on-air moment taught her something new about poise and professionalism. It was here she transformed from a promising journalist into a recognized voice in American media, blending charm, integrity, and unwavering work ethic into her signature style. Marriage, dreams, and heartbreak. Behind Ainsley's professional glow, her personal life was filled with love, hope, and pain. She married her college sweetheart, Kevin McKinney, in 2005, believing she'd found her forever. But as her career soared, the distance between them quietly grew. The pressures of public life, long hours, and constant scrutiny took their toll. In 2009, their marriage ended, marking a chapter of deep sadness for Ainsley. Yet, she didn't lose faith in love. When she met Will Proctor, a former Clemson quarterback, she felt renewed hope. Their 2012 wedding was filled with optimism, and soon after, they welcomed their daughter, Hayden, Ainsley's pride and joy. Motherhood grounded her in ways fame never could. She found purpose in nurturing her child while balancing the demands of national television. But even as her family grew, life was preparing her for heartbreak once again, a test of emotional endurance that would define her resilience. Motherhood, loss, and strength. Motherhood brought Ainsley her greatest joy and one of her deepest sorrows. After Hayden's birth, she suffered a miscarriage, an experience that broke her emotionally. For someone who spent her life keeping composure on camera, this was a raw, human moment. Instead of hiding behind the screen, she chose to share her story publicly, showing other women that they weren't alone. Her openness about loss was both courageous and healing. It transformed her from a polished news anchor into a relatable figure who had known pain and vulnerability. But personal grief wasn't her only challenge. Reports of infidelity surfaced in her marriage to Will Proctor, shattering her trust. By 2019, they divorced, leaving her to rebuild life as a single mother. Through it all, Ainsley leaned on her faith and her daughter, finding strength in prayer and gratitude. Her vulnerability became her power, an emotional honesty that defined her evolution. Faith and controversy on Fox and Friends. As a co-host of Fox and Friends, Ainsley's career reached new heights, but with visibility came scrutiny. She spoke openly about her Christian faith, often weaving gratitude and God's purpose into her morning broadcasts. Many found her authenticity refreshing. Others accused her of blending belief with politics. Her strong support of Donald Trump and conservative values made her both admired and criticized. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she faced a wave of backlash after saying it was safe to fly. Critics accused her of spreading misinformation, though she later clarified her intentions. The moment was a painful reminder of how quickly words can turn into controversy in today's media climate. Yet, Ainsley refused to retreat. She apologized where needed, stood firm where she believed, and continued to bring empathy into debates. Her grace under fire revealed not arrogance, but conviction, the courage to hold faith even when public opinion wavered. Professional missteps and public apologies. Even the most seasoned anchors stumble, and Ainsley wasn't immune to on-air mistakes. Whether misstating historical details or making emotionally charged remarks, she often found herself under the microscope. But unlike many public figures who double down or deflect, Ainsley took full accountability. Her apologies were sincere, often delivered live, eyes filled with humility. She didn't treat mistakes as scandals, but as lessons. This vulnerability turned critics into quiet admirers. Viewers saw a woman who, despite fame, wasn't afraid to own her flaws. She reminded audiences that journalism, at its heart, is human, and humans err. These moments of imperfection added depth to her image. They showcased not just professionalism, but personal growth. Every apology rebuilt her credibility, strengthening her bond with the audience. In a world obsessed with image, Ainsley's authenticity made her stand out as someone who could fall gracefully and rise stronger each time. A private romance in the public eye. In 2019, Ainsley found herself in the headlines again, this time for her rumored relationship with Sean Hannity, her Fox News colleague. Both had recently gone through divorces and shared deep faith and mutual respect. Though neither confirmed the relationship, their closeness was evident to colleagues. They were seen together at social events, quietly supporting one another amid professional and personal pressures. The media fascination grew, but Ainsley remained protective of her privacy, determined to keep her personal happiness out of the public spectacle. Their companionship reflected understanding born of shared experiences, long work hours, public expectations, and personal losses. Those close to them described the relationship as steady and grounded, built on faith rather than fame. While they continued to coexist in the demanding world of journalism, their bond reminded people that love can quietly exist even in the loudest places. A partnership rooted in respect and calm. Faith through grief, losing her mother. In 2022, tragedy struck when Ainsley's beloved mother, Dale, passed away at 72 after years of battling health issues. The loss was devastating. Dale had been Ainsley's moral compass, a woman of unwavering faith and strength. Returning to work just 2 days after her mother's passing, Ainsley carried visible grief, yet projected the grace her mother had taught her. On Fox and Friends, she openly shared her sorrow, not for sympathy, but to remind others of faith's power to heal. She found comfort in knowing her mother's legacy lived through her and her daughter, Hayden. Her emotional honesty resonated deeply with viewers, creating a rare moment of connection. Ainsley showed that faith isn't the absence of pain, it's the ability to keep moving through it. Through her mother's memory, she reaffirmed her purpose: to live with compassion, integrity, and gratitude, no matter how heavy the loss. A legacy of faith, resilience, and hope. Ainsley Earhardt's journey is one of perseverance through trials that could have broken her spirit. From a small-town girl with Southern charm to a national television figure, her path has been paved with lessons of grace, humility, and unshakable faith. She's faced heartbreak, criticism, and loss. Yet each challenge deepened her strength. Beyond politics or public perception, Ainsley stands as a testament to resilience. Her faith remains her compass, guiding her through storms both personal and professional. As a mother, journalist, and believer, she continues to inspire millions who see in her a reflection of their own struggles. Her legacy isn't defined by fame, but by courage. The courage to speak honestly, to love fiercely, and to rise again after every fall. Ainsley Earhardt's story reminds us that even under the brightest spotlight, humanity and hope still shine the brightest.